All right, just some ideas and a little bit of strategy for what we all can do, or of what the Dems, Republicans, Patriots in the middle, everyone besides, the fringe elements that are trying to take over this country, ruin it, hijack it all. These aren't Julius Caesars, man. These are the true rejects. Some of the people that are behind Project 2025 are smart and evil and calculated, but for the most part, a lot of these people carrying out the mouthpieces, the losers are winning. Stupid is winning. And we gotta start really pressing forward now and every day before they just continue to grind away, wear everyone down, and take over a little more and get emboldened. People start getting a little more worried. So it's just a couple more ideas, kind of piggybacking up off things I've posted before. But moving, getting started. So a couple of days ago, a bunch of farmers raised fury. And they were angry over Donald and his billionaire bros, over Doge, over programs that they were cutting to eliminate programs on climate data, right? So the farmers caused a little bit of a stir over whatever this administration was doing, cutting, wiping away everything. So we know what the fucking temperature is and what's going on. The fuck are we doing? This makes us look so pathetic. No one else does this. No one. Not the Europeans, not Central and South America, not Canada or Mexico. Not even the Chinese and the Russians. Not the Middle East, not Egypt or Algeria or even Libya, that has dueling governments that split between the East and the West. Capital Tripoli is run by various militias. Even they fucking get it, dog. They understand. This makes us look weak and pathetic. Everybody in this beautiful world fully understands and appreciates what is happening to nature and the enormous power nature has. But just a loser Republican thing to do. Again, all about marketing and this high school bullying. Calling everyone a snowflake, caring about nature, whatever else they always do, these fucking losers. They're the kids in high school making fun of those playing instruments or studying too much while they smoke weed and skip class. Only 2 years later realize how dumb they were, because now they're attempting the concerts of those students who were playing instruments, or they're working for the other students that were studying the whole time. We all know and can relate to this. So back to the farmers, though, real quick. With a little bit of the strategy part, I think could be impactful. Go to these Republican districts immediately, now, tomorrow, and show how their reps, how their representatives, how their congressmen and women voted against this, against programs like this. Literally, have commercials showing these members of Congress voting nay. It's always, every vote is taped. Show them literally saying no that are impacting these farmers, so the town and the farmers know and can see it. Have these commercials or billboards of these elite rich Republicans sipping martinis at exclusive clubs, followed by Trump and his billionaire friends having the time of their lives in Saudi and Qatar and Dubai. Then immediately after that, juxtapose that by showing these local farmers in these communities and interview them, the farmers in these towns, and how they're negatively impacted, and have them tell their stories of suffering. Again, spotlight the emotion and the human element. Americans will relate more to this compared to whatever out of touch tactics the Democrats have been doing. All right? With all the laughing about the norm, seemingly not taking its, just the threat literal or serious enough, going back into legal aspects, if he's joking or if he's not. It's so pitiful. So these type of personal, show how it's relatable, show how it's impacting them. Go to the towns, interview the farmers, show clips, billboards nonstop of how these wannabe patriots, these Republicans in Congress, vote no nonstop that are impacting these hardworking Americans while they're hanging out with all these billionaires. They will relate to that. Moving forward, another idea with the same pattern. Have a similar event, tactics. Let's go to West Virginia and have a town hall with all the coal miners who were impacted because Donald and his billionaire bros cut funding for medicine and health services for these miners who get sick, black lung, all of that, all the research due to their line of work, what they're doing in the mines. So similar to the farmers in Kentucky, run commercials, have local ads in their newspapers, have billboards in these small, overwhelmingly pro-Trump districts showing how Republicans who are representative in these districts are all in favor of Donald's neglect for middle America and only for the billionaires. Show these small districts clips of the Republicans voting against bills that help these communities all the time, again and again. They cannot run away from it. They cannot spin it. Do not let them go on fake Fox and brainwash everyone. Go there and show them, and then have programs where they can release their frustration, anger, and they can tell the stories for themselves. Again, interview them, and just the difference between the hardworking Americans and how the Republicans that are voting no are in support of an unelected immigrant, Nazi-loving billionaire and his Doge bros cutting services for all of this. It will be impactful, it will be right to the point, and it's just more relatable for most Americans to digest this type of information. Not the whole hour-long legal aspect from the Ivy League Dems who have to try to explain it. Get right to the point, show the emotion, and show how these Republicans are anti-everything these hardworking Americans actually stand for. Last idea on a similar theme, have an event in New York City outside of the Trump Tower. Personally, I think it's still unbelievable that this motherfucker can have a hotel in New York City. But anyway, have an event outside of his building with 9/11 first responders. Donald and Doge tried to cut funding for health services to aid diseases these heroes got in the aftermath of 9/11. Can you motherfucking believe that? Where's the Republicans driving the pickup with American flags everywhere? Where are they at about this? Where the fuck are they? Where is their outrage? So we have all of these heroes and their families sitting outside of the Trump Hotel with American flags all around as they go one by one, sharing their story. We interview them, we have a town hall, we display it, it's on podcast, it's on local TV, it's on local news, whatever it may be, whatever the platforms are, but we get it out, right? Do events and commercials like this nonstop. The masses need to see what's happening and get mobilized before Donald and his billionaire bros gain more power and take away more freedom. I think it's just a little something small by small that we can do. In a prior clip, I mentioned having events where we could highlight all the threats to judges and their families and how unpatriotic that is. I think it gets lost. It's one of the biggest stories out there. It's happening, can be threatening judges, their wives or their daughters or their little children. What are we doing? This is going to happen in third world countries. It's just abysmal. And then you tie that into events that Bernie and AOC are doing. Then you tie that into what Tim Walz is doing, going to small Republican districts, holding town halls because they don't. You start tying all these events in and you start doing them simultaneously or start uniting more, right? I mentioned earlier also about how we can unite more with the Europeans and the protests that they're doing, kind of combined and mobilize together and have protests together. They've been there, they've done that before. It will also, make it feel more of a global movement as opposed to everyone maybe feeling a little bit lost and overwhelmed in their small communities. Although doing your part in those small areas is incredibly impactful as well. But again, we can tie all these things in together. I think it's important. So it's just a couple ideas for some tactics and some strategy I think that we can start doing moving forward immediately, why it's easy to counter all of this. So it's just a couple ideas that I have moving forward for us to keep the pressure up. And again, let's start showing that emotional side, and let's start highlighting what all these hard-working Americans are going through and what is being done to them and their families, to all of us, because of a small little billionaire, out of touch, never had a job, never went to the grocery store, never had a shovel before in their lives, and are trying to take away from all of us. Let's highlight it now, while it's hot, while it's in the news, and while it's ready for us, while it's ready for us to take advantage of that, right? Let's all come together and let's get it. This is 1776, not January 6th.